Hello and welcome to a new game series. I'm going to be playing King Crusaders 3 and this series is going to be entitled Wrath of the Northmen. So what is the Wrath of the Northmen? Now the Wrath of the Northmen is the story of the sons of Ragnar after the death of Ragnar Lothbrok. The story captivated me the most out of the 6 possible options just based on the TV series Vikings alone. If you haven't watched it, do so, it's absolutely brilliant. The story of the game, however, follows a more historic version of what actually happens. Sigurd's Snake in the Eye inherits lands of Denmark and Sweden, and Bjorn also inherits a large section of Sweden. The remaining 3 brothers, Uber, Hitzberg and Ivar, have set sail to England in order to get revenge for the death of their beloved father. A few similarities with the game and the TV series is that Ivar and Hitzberg do in fact lead the invasion of England. The main differences, however, is that Sigurd, Uber and Bjorn all have more historically accurate storylines with this game. The ages are obviously quite different. Ira is actually the youngest in the TV series, whereas historically he's actually the oldest, and the game reflects that. Moving on to the 5th and last character you can see in this tab, Earl Alfred. This guy is actually the King Alfred the Great, who historically defeats the Viking hordes pretty much by himself, as well as he does in the TV series. So the question of this game series is going to be this: can I live up to the great expectation of Earl Alfred the Great, or will the sons of Ragnar defeat me? Let's find out. There we go, let's get straight in. The first thing I'm going to do is pick a lifestyle. Obviously I'm going to pick Martial because I gain experience faster and it will benefit me in the wars to come. Just to help us keep tabs of all the main players in the Wrath of the Northmen, we're going to pin the characters. We've pinned all 5 sons of Ragnar Lothbrok, as well as the King of Mercia, Wessex, East Anglia, Northumbria, and Cornwall. That's all the main 10 players of this game. The first thing I need to do is expand my personal territory. As you can see, the blue area is areas that I control, the purple areas are areas that I have claims to. The petty King of Wessex owns all of the land that I have claims to. He is my brother and I am actually his vassal. So therefore I'm not actually going to be declaring war on my brother, I'm going to be declaring war on the lords or earls that run those particular areas, and I'm basically going to say I want to control that area for my brother. If successful, I will actually be growing my personal levy and therefore my strength on the map. After looking at my 3 options, I decided to declare war on the Earl of Buckinghamshire. He has the least amount of troops and the least defended fort. As a result, I think it should be a quick victory if we raise our levy fast and march him over there before he has a chance to respond. My men successfully march onto Buckinghamshire without any problems whatsoever. All they need to do now is assault the fort and take it, and this first battle should be ours. As you can see, it's going to take roughly 7 months to complete. Now we have to wait patiently and see if anybody actually comes to contest the siege of Buckinghamshire. Alfred the Great has now won his very first war and now will take control of Buckinghamshire. This will increase our levy and hopefully means that we'll be able to make a push towards taking my brother's throne. Looking around the map now, you can see that we've actually increased our personal levy to about 620 plus and growing. Now this means that we'll be able to take on a little bit more land and grow our levy as a result. Just as we scour the map and look for the next area of land to take, thinking about taking Herefordshire, something dramatic happens that changes the course of our life. The king has died, my brother, and as the heir to the throne I have now taken charge of the petty kingdom of Wessex, which is all the blue area you can now see. Along with land, I've actually also taken on the wars that my brother was fighting at the time of his death. My brother left me with 2 wars to fight, both against the sons of Ragnar Lothbrok, but over different kingdoms, one for the petty kingdom of East Anglia against Ivar Lothbrok, and the other against the kingdom of Northumbria against Hitzerk. The kingdom of Jorvik, which is run by Hitzerk, is winning the battle. We currently have a -77, and therefore I'm just going to focus solely on defending East Anglia from Ivar. Every king needs an heir, and it just so happens my wife has given birth to my very own heir, Alfred. I'm going to take Alfred under my wing and educate him myself to try and give him the best possible education and give him the best future and stats that he could possibly have. Currently Ivar is a no-show, however his brother, Jarl Sigurd Snake in the Eye, is raiding my land south. As a result I've decided to send all my men down south to put an end to his raids. Our very first battle has begun with the son of Ragnar. It's against Jarl Sigurd Snake in the Eye, and as you can see by the blue bar on your screen, the battle is very much in our favour. The reason for this is because of the sheer volume of troops that we've brought to this battle, outnumbering the enemy 3-1. Six months have passed since our first encounter with the son of Ragnar Lothbrok. Ivar has now sent one of his armies to East Anglia, which I'm currently defending. I quickly take the advantage and put myself at the helm of one of the commanding spots of the first army near Winchester and go into battle. Since Ivar's army has just recently disembarked, it should give me a great advantage going into this battle. The battle is in my favour with a +64 roll, even though the blue bar and the red bar are pretty even. Hopefully what we'll soon see is the enemy starting to retreat and my forces being able to outnumber them. The battle has concluded and we've actually taken a valuable hostage. This is the son of Ivar. This is actually the grandson of Ragnar Lothbrok. The son of Ivar the Boneless has many claims to his father's thrones. This may serve me later on if I manage to recruit him and get him to join my court. It will allow me to later potentially declare war on Ivar, if I get the opportunity, that is. We've managed to recruit into our court, so hopefully you may later serve a purpose if we do decide to declare war on Ivar. More men have now come down to East Anglia. I'm going to get my men and bide my time, waiting for the moment that I feel is right before pushing my army towards them. There's a strong army of Mercia just north of my men, so I'm hoping as I push the enemy they're going to join me and fight the battle together. However, that doesn't seem to be the case. It seems that the King of Mercia would rather see my men perish in battle than come and support me, even though his troops would significantly put the battle in our favour and ultimately win us the war. All hope seems bleak, however at the last second Ivar gives in and surrenders his claim to East Anglia. Defending against the Vikings has taught me one thing: we don't have enough men, so I've decided I need to increase my lands. What better way to increase my lands by taking the small town of Gwent? But I'm not going to stop there. I've also decided that East Anglia should become part of Wessex. It's a large chunk of area that would increase my levy significantly and help me defeat the Vikings in the north. Things are going well for Alfred so far. His lands are getting bigger, his army is getting bigger. However, he's received a letter. An unthinkable bargain. Hitzerk has basically told Alfred he will recognise him as the King of England if Alfred recognises Hitzerk as the King of Daneland. Now, weighing up the options, and given the fact that if I decline, Jarl Halfdan Hitzerk will get the title the week I've decided to decline the offer. Hitzvirk wasn't very happy with my latest rejection and has challenged me to single combat. Myself being Alfred the Great, I've decided to accept this single combat challenge, in the hope that I can kill or maim Hitzvirk. After a lengthy fight, ultimately I am defeated by Hitzvirk. Thankfully my wounds are not severe and I live to tell the tale. It's only my pride that has taken a battering in this fight. Licking my wounds and with a mad rush of blood to the head, I decide to make a silly decision and go to war with Halfdan. His army was bigger than mine, but with the help of the Mercians and my new ally the King of Italy, I felt like we could take on and defeat Hitzvirk the weak. My plan quickly started to backfire as the King of Italy was already wrapped up in his own war with the King of France, which meant I wouldn't be actually getting the help of the King of Italy anytime soon. It wasn't long before the first battle was well underway, and with the help of Mercia I was able to hold off the army of Hitzvirk. Although the battle was significantly in my favour, by the end of the battle I only had around 400 more men than Hitzvirk did. As I looked down south, I noticed a small Viking army of 1,544 men. I decided, since I had the larger number, to push the advantage and try and win this battle. My forces quickly overwhelmed Sigurd's Snake in the Eye, and we won the next battle. As the battle concluded, we managed to capture Sigurd's Snake in the Eye alive. This left me with a dilemma. The dilemma was, what was I going to do with Sigurd's Snake in the Eye? Now, looking at the battle, it was going very much in our favour, and I decided at this stage not to do or take any action. I hit another bump in the road when the petty King of Mercia decided to commit suicide. My only other ally, the King of Italy, was getting battered against the French. This meant that I was pretty much on my own in the war against Hitzvirk. I hit a turning point when I lost my very first battle against Hitzvirk. I quickly realised that my forces were no longer strong enough to take on the Vikings on my own. Being very salty in my defeat, I decide if I'm going to take something out of this war, I better take it now, and I decide to execute Sigurd Snake in the Eye. It was probably a good thing that I did kill Sigurd when I did, because battle after battle after battle, I was defeated by Hitzvirk. I was getting a little bit frustrated with my ally in this. It was just standing by while I was getting beat battle after battle after battle. They did, however, try to push Hitzvirk, but suffered the same fate as myself. After a further 2 defeats, I decided to send my army in one more time. We outnumbered the enemy from 5 to 1. However, from previous battles, we already know that this is sometimes not good enough against the Vikings, especially Hitzvirk's men. This battle looked to be going in our favour, and it looked like we were going to win our very first battle against Hitzvirk for a while, and start to turn the tide of the war, when Hitzvirk declared himself victorious. While we're trying to recover from the losses of the previous war, an unexpected letter was received. It turns out that Earl Uber Ragnarsson, the son of Ragnar Lothbrok, was wounded in the final battle of the war. A few months after the war has ended, he succumbs to his injuries and passes away, making him the second son of Ragnar Lothbrok to die. Only his brothers, Ivar the Boneless, Bjorn Ironside, and Halfdan the Weak are left. 15 long years have passed since our journey began. Our land and armies have grown vast in the last 15 years. We've managed to kill off 2 sons of Ragnar Lothbrok. However, our journey is not over. Although our journey isn't over, unfortunately this first episode is. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like and subscribe button, and tune in next week for the second episode of The Wrath of the Northmen. I've been Wheelie Bins, and thank you for watching.